And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
those
guys.
guys.
So what's good, guys? How's it going there,
Nothing,
Lauren?
man. I apologize, Paul, for missing Monday, but due to certain domestic issues that were going on in the household.
Okay, I understand. You can't be everywhere at the same time.
Trust me. If I could, I would. They need to perfect cloning really quickly. They seriously do.
What you think it is?
What happened?
That's what it is. They need to perfect cloning.
So I could be home with them. I could be out flying, and I could be doing something else because. Never mind.
I caught that.
Never mind.
I caught that YouTube. I caught that YouTube disease from you, Lawrence.
Hey, Ariel. What do you mean?
Where now I don't know, since YouTube did that new nonsense. Whenever now my show opens, it doesn't open the window that's there that it used to open. It's opening another window.
Hey, Desmond. You know, I literally.
And what it's going to do now is start
everyone is on
show.
Desmond says everyone is on another stream. Yep.
Right.
Where it's something weird, Desmond, where for some reason Zoom is, when he schedules it, everyone's sitting in the chat room chilling, waiting for the live stream to start. And then he starts the live stream. It's supposed to go live.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's starting a completely different, your clones, a different live stream. Your clones will get jealous and have to rotate anyway. Either that or they would gang up on one and get to fly drones all the time. So you mean I would get attacked by the drones?
Because when I go over and I look at check the bell, it shows
Hey, Michigan Adventures
shows 2 live streams.
I went to Herman's page.
Sense.
I went to Herman's page and I only saw one.
Right.
Okay, let me share screen for a second. Okay.
Now, if I click on his screen,
do you guys see it? Right over here.
Yeah, one over the other.
There's one over the other. 31 minutes ago, 1 minute ago.
But when you go to his main page, there's only one live stream. I see it says set reminder. That was the one that he set up, and now everyone's starting to transition over into our live stream.
All right.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. Tomas Ariels, how are you? Michigan Adventures, Desmond Donders, Traveler, Shaquille. I haven't seen that name before. Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. Recovery One Drone.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
JSK, how are you guys? If you see me blinking and rubbing my eyes a lot, for some reason, either the pollen rate is really, really high or I'm losing my sight because my eyes have been burning for the last 2 or 3 days and I've had a sinus headache. I'm just all effed up.
Well, being that you have allergies and you've been outside there going back and forth, you know, I think that's what it is that got you, because every time I go out, like the other day I went out to go to the doctor, you know, I got it just felt like the air was just attacking me, it was touching my face. And I get the one like dry eye and it feels like something's in it sometimes.
I don't know what that word is with starting with the letter O, but it ain't me.
What?
He did Recovery One Drones. He says you're getting something. I can't read the last words. That word isn't in my vocabulary.
He said you getting old.
Old.
I heard you getting.
O-L-D.
I heard you getting.
Kind of like me, Lawrence. Like
not
me.
In my vocabulary.
You got to learn to crook that finger a little bit and you'll wag it whenever you get it.
Hold on a second. The word is oldish.
Recovery One says he did an FPV video for UFPV guys. I'm gonna have to check your page. I saw some alerts, but I was busy running around doing stuff that should be done by others.
So, Paul, as you know, I went to the doctor yesterday, and they took some X-rays of the ankle. I got some good news, but it was not exactly what I wanted to hear.
Stay off your foot for another year or what?
No, he told me after this 8 weeks, I need another 2 more weeks before they want me to start putting weight on it in therapy. So
Listen to your doctor.
he did tell me
I can do that finger wagging, you know.
taking the boot off a little bit to move my foot around if I can. But he told me I can also sleep without it now, so I'm gonna do that.
So when are they taking the pin out? Is my question.
They're not taking those screws out.
They're permanently in there.
That's what's holding everything together.
Oh, you're gonna
So
be
they
fun.
take the bridge. If they take the legs out from under the bridge,
you're gonna be real fun at the airport.
if they take the legs out from under the bridge, there is no more bridge.
I hear you. I hear you.
And I saw that on the X-ray. They go straight through right into the.
So you are officially a bionic man.
Yeah.
Minus the bionic part.
Well,
I'm pieced together.
He saw the screws, so you can't say he's got a screw loose because they're there.
It is.
I know some family members that would beg to differ.
Feeling pretty good.
All right.
Doctor is feeling pretty good. So
hey,
see.
David, Desmond Donner's across the pond. He's 5 hours ahead, so it's at 10 o'clock there.
Something to that effect.
Yep.
What are you, an hour behind us, Paul?
No, I'm on the same time you are. It's 5 o'clock.
Okay.
The time zone changes.
So when it's 3 a.m. my
Michigan.
time, it's really 3 a.m. your time too. I was thinking you was up at 2 and it was bringing my time at 3.
No. I'm 3 o'clock.
Recovery One says he still has a pin in his elbow from the old football injury.
Yeah. They don't take them out unless they're a problem.
You guys must are going to be real fun at the airport.
Well, I mean, anything that you have an injury with, it's real fun when the barometric pressure changes and your joints and stuff like that starts to swell.
Yeah, I hear you.
So anybody that has an injury to a joint has that issue. But at the airport, I think you can get a little card or something that they give you or whatever that says that you have parts.
Yeah.
Because when my father travels, he travels with some paper in his pocket because he's got a lot of parts.
Thomas Ariel says the Herminator.
You know what I'm saying? He's got tons of parts.
He's the Herminator. Okay, well, yes, 10 p.m. in Scotland right now.
Okay.
Well, they have a commercial here, Desmond, at 10 p.m. They go, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your child is?
The children are.
Yeah. Do you know where your children are or your child is? And every night at 10 p.m. it used to come on. So close to the border, Paul, on the Canadian time zone.
That actually was a thing back when I was a kid. It came on just before the news at 10.
Yes, the 10 o'clock news, exactly.
10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
When I was growing up, the rule of thumb was when we were younger, you had to be home when the street lights came on.
Yes. And some kids started to not do that.
You guys were lucky. I was told to be home before they came on.
Oh, they didn't have street lights in your neighborhood?
Stop it.
Yeah, the gas lamps. They used to go along and light the gas lamps.
Of course they did.
The lamplighter guy,
That's what they had when you was a kid, Paul. The guy used to come running.
Yeah, the gas lights,
And then in the morning he would come with the little hook cup
little snuff it out.
And put out and snuff out the light.
Yep.
That's funny.
So how'd you know when you had mail in the mailbox, or they always had the little flag?
Well, when you heard the mail buggy come clap, clap, clap down the street, clap.
Everybody would gather around and get theirs.
Yep. And we used to have the milkman used to come on the horse too and bring the milk and.
Wow. Well, no, I do remember the milk bottles, but my mom's they had a milk bottle and a diaper man that would come. guy that would,
Yeah.
would come and collect diapers.
We still actually have the knife guy that comes around and sharpens your stuff, your scissors and your knives and stuff out of your kitchen.
Yeah, they used to have one that was in a flea market. He would sit there all day, and you'd see people walking around with knives, and then it would dawn on you, he was sharpening people's knives.
No,
But
we got a guy with a truck.
Yeah, this guy had a truck.
That comes around different neighborhoods, different
Regular
days.
route. Yep.
And
This guy would do
people
that during the week.
running outside with their cutlery.
Yeah, he would do it during the week, Monday through Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday, he would be in the flea market parked.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun. Old times. Fun. Last Saturday, he also used to have the guy who used to come around with the seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
And the wooden crate.
The seltzer, the milkman, the diaper man.
Seltzer bottles, yeah.
And that's when the ice cream truck was Good Humor. The Good Humor ice cream
Good
truck.
humor truck. And they were funny because they had like a truck car front and a box on the back.
Right, with 5 doors. 2
Yep.
on the outside, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 1 big door in the back. And
Yep.
sometimes if he didn't have your ice cream, he'd say, hold on, and he'd slam the door and walk around to another door and open it up and pull your ice cream out or pull a box out and
Yep.
put it in the front there. Albuquerque Quadcopter, how are you? Agent K,
Yeah.
what's up? And
Can't
Tony,
do that nowadays, bro.
how are you guys?
Can't find it.
Huh?
Can't do that nowadays.
Nowadays, you'd be over servicing somebody on the right-hand side of the truck. They'd be
Maybe
stealing the hell out of it on the left-hand
What'd
side.
you say, Paul? They'd be looking through the other side? Talking about,
Yeah, on the other side, they'd have the door open and shoot.
Cleaning them out.
Yeah, can you pass me the coconut custard, please?
Yeah. I know I had some in here.
Can I get sprinkles on that?
Well, I do remember
also,
they started.
Can you
I
put
do remember
cherries
my
on it?
neighborhood. They started doing that, and he
Cleaning the
started
guy
locking the doors. He started locking the doors, and of course, I'm just checking an account. That's all. Don't mind.
Because that used to happen to the truck drivers too when they would make deliveries to the store.
Uh-huh.
They would just close the back of the truck. They would lock it, run it inside, and some of these guys would slip in and slide out. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't need 2-3 cases of juice. How much juice can you actually drink?
Yeah.
I'm sending you guys a private message.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, what's up, Agent K? How are you? And welcome to Wednesday Nights with those guys. And we have a little bit of drone news, but it's still early. It's 5:13. We're going to be on for the next hour and 47 minutes. So sit back, relax, go eat dinner. Well, yeah, what's up, Big Matt? That's right. Click that like or the dislike.
Well, when you go to those guys' channel, you can click all the dislikes you want.
What happened?
I said, when you go to other people's channel, you can click all the dislikes you want. But when you come here, please click the like button.
Makes sense. Makes lots of sense.
No, but I haven't been able to really get out much, and if at all. But I know you guys have been out flying, have you? Haven't you? But what's been going on?
This week I was slacking.
Oh,
this week I was slacking because of the fact that I was supposed to be doing a few other things that never transpired. But I'm on point now.
I know Roger was saying he's been dealing with weather issues. The oven.
Yeah, either too hot, like over 100, and
or it's raining.
Or raining.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because the humidity must be high, and he's getting that rain. Whatever goes up must come down.
Exactly.
This is true. This is true. All that moisture has to go somewhere.
Right. You know, it can't stay up there forever. And then, like, you had that storm push in from out by you. Whatever happened with that, Paul? How did it hit you?
It shot north of me.
Okay.
And it tore tore up of the center of the state and up towards the east side of Michigan, up on the northern portion. And they had power outages, and western Michigan had power outages, and every trees down. And nope, it went right by me.
Wow.
All right, then
Well,
that's not too bad. I'm actually queuing up some stories.
What are you
Yeah.
going to Grimm's
Well-
and pulling up the little stories from Grimm's there?
No, I'm getting my stories from some of these people swear by this guy, Ostelov.
Oh, okay.
They called him a drone guy. No, I'm bullshitting. Herman sent me a bunch of stuff. I'm just queuing up. So when he starts going into it, I have the links. So so if you miss what he's talking about, and for some strange reason, when Herman and I do a news story, for some reason, the conversation comes up on another live stream. And what's funny about it, you'll have someone say, "Well, aren't those drones being made in Japan?" And never mind. Just never mind.
Aren't they making here?
It's just that we tend to fact check our stuff a little more than some other people do on their live streams. So when we talk about stuff, we kind of have a little more insight on it, and that's why I queue up the links. So while we're talking about it, I can put the link in, or I could show the actual link while someone's talking about it, and then you can investigate it afterwards. Unlike some of those other live streams out there that watch certain live streams to get their stories. The views and opinions heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight. But you get what I'm talking about. What's up, Logan Carpenter? How are you? Yeah, Matt. I know they added a 4-time zoom to the Mavic Air 2. I'm so happy for you guys that have that little feature, so you could see 4 feet closer.
Well, I feel,
No, it's actually a good feature.
Nice
Joe Mack, how are you from Ireland?
What I wanted to say to you guys was, in case anybody was still interested, the FAA UAS symposium that's sponsored by AUVSI. The what do they call it? Episode 2 is coming up August 18th and the 19th. If anyone's interested, it's still there, still available. DJI Airworks is coming up also, once again, like I said before, which is going to be on August 25th through the 28th. If anyone's interested, I believe it's up to $99 right now, and that's the final price on it. If you didn't catch the early bird special, which I believe was for $45, which wasn't a bad deal. And AUVSI, once again, the exponential is going to be virtual. If you remember, it was supposed to be in Boston, and they moved it to Dallas. And now with the coronavirus and all of the issues with the coronavirus, it's going to be virtual. So just check out that. I think it's exponential.org, or just go to AUVSI and check it out. And you can, I guess, find out how to register for that. Those are the same people who are sponsoring the FAA symposium. So if you're interested, anyone, check it out. What's good, Paul?
I don't have much to report other than the fact, that there was a couple of updates to the Mavic Air 2, and
yeah. So now that they have that update, have you tried it out? Is it? Oh, I think Bill typed it only works in 1080p.
What's that?
I think coast to coast. Bill says at 1080p. The 4-time zoom is at
4 times. The other ones you get 2 times zoom.
In 4K you get 2 times zoom.
4K and 2.7. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I don't personally own one, but I know a few people were putting out videos this week on it. I saw on YouTube. It was everyone was like, "Oh, new firmware update. Gives us 4x zoom." So I've yet to see it in action. See what I mean by seeing it in action, Paul? I would like to see, like on a Mavic 2 zoom, while you're flying backwards, you can be zooming in, or while you're flying forward, you can be zooming out. I want to see it in action like that, because that makes a difference. If you have to
Right.
stop with the drone and then zoom in, then I don't think it's too good of a feature. So I want to see you guys who have Mavic Air 2s go out and try to fly forward, if not at full throttle, but fly forward and zoom out, and also fly backwards and zoom in. And if it's smooth, kudos to the update. If it's not smooth, you guys should be bitching about it so they could fix that issue.
Actually, I did fly the Air 2 on a ship video,
Okay.
and I did what you talked about. I was flying in and zoomed in and zoomed out again, and it was just as smooth as my
Okay, that's
Mavic 2
good.
zoom.
That's good. I like to
Okay.
see stuff.
Which video is that? I gotta go check out because I see all these videos. I haven't seen.
Well, is that video number
There are many of
22?
them.
Is that
No,
video number
seriously.
22 for the
No,
week?
no,
Or
no. Seriously, Paul put out so many damn videos. It's just,
Yeah, I'm
after a
putting
while,
2 out right now. So
see,
you can use the gimbal wheel to zoom. I think you have to hold the function button and then you
function
can
button
use
with
the
your
gimbal,
thumb, and then you use the
the
wheel.
gimbal wheel. See, they're turning you
Okay.
guys into FPV pilots, and you don't even freaking know it.
Well, see, the thing of it is, though, what I found when I did the first time is that I held the button, but as an old man, I started doing this, and then I had the function button set for recenter the camera, where it goes down, then it goes up.
Oh,
So I would be
okay.
flying and zooming and go down, up, and so what I had to do is I went in and turned that function off, the recentering the gimbal off of the 1 and the 2 tap. So the
Okay.
1 and 2 tap now just turn the bottom landing lights on or off.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to see some, like, yeah, when you find what video that is and post a link, because I would like to watch that when you get a chance.
Okay.
I'm always interested in little firmware. To me, now see, that's a firmware update. Okay.
Yep.
Now, when you update the firmware and all it does is make the prop spin 300 RPMs faster, that's not a damn update to me. You didn't even have to tell me that. Just do that update. But if you do an update that affects the camera and or operating system of the drone, it has to be noticeable. And it has to be at a point where okay, it may slow down the yaw. Say that's an update. If it slows down the yaw, that's a performance thing. I don't want to hear updates about you made the engines rotate faster so they're 30% cooler. I don't need to know that.
you don't like those updates?
No. Oh, Herman,
Yeah.
I was down to 3 Phantom 4 Pro batteries. Now I'm down to 2. And
Okay.
guess which one died and who I got it from. Guess who I got it from?
Not the one you got from
Swans or Us.
the one that came with the drone.
You didn't hear what I said.
That's
the one that came with the drone from Twans or Us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that one is completely dead. The other 2 stayed in storage mode and were perfectly fine. I went, hey, 3X drones. I went to go do maintenance on them to make sure, charge them up to about 50%, and then put them back in storage mode. And one's dead, doesn't power up, doesn't come on or nothing. And that was the one. Remember, I had a battery with a light that was out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that came with the drone. So
even
anyway,
when you plug the charger in and you hit the button, like as if you wanted to start the battery, it won't even pick up the charge then?
nothing. And now you usually do that. That's a cell test when you do it like that, to make sure the cells, you can do it with the battery plugged in.
Actually, what will happen is sometimes when you have a problem with the battery on those, it'll pick up and charge.
Yeah, well, I haven't gotten rid of it. What I was going to do was I was actually going to put it on the charger for about 15 minutes to a half hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then take it off and see if there's any, if I can bring it back to life, in which case I would only use that battery to warm up and or to test stuff. What's up, Ron? How are you, sir? Welcome to Wednesday Nights with Those Guys. But anyway, click that like button so you don't have to do it later.
What I was saying to you is that when you plug the charger in to the battery, and it's plugged into, or after you plug it into the battery, and then you plug it in to your outlet on the wall, the charger's getting powered. Nothing's happening on the battery.
Nothing. The lights are dead. Huh?
If you take your finger, press, release, press, and hold, till the lights come on, and sometimes it'll come on and it'll pick up the charge.
I'll try that, because what I did actually was I did the double tap. I did the double tap to see if it would come on. It shows some kind of charge, but that press and release and then hold. I'll see about that. I actually did hold in the button, but I didn't do the press and then hold. I'll give that a shot in the morning, probably when I'm getting up, because I have to get up early tomorrow.
Wow,
I was going to say that I think I saw on a forum that if you leave it for 30 minutes to 1 hour, it might start charging. I was going to try a 30 minutes, and also, hey, eat more possums. I was going to try that, Thomas, which is really good, because I think if it sits there for about 30 minutes and then I uncharge it, and then I maybe plug it in for another 30 minutes, I'm hoping to restart, but then I'll always be weary of that battery. You know, that's the battery that I'll be flying with clenched butt cheeks when I take off from the ground. Because
you know what? That's why I went on that battery spree at a time when the batteries were hard to find. If I could find some, I bought it.
Yeah, and they're even harder to find now. Believe it or not.
They're there. It's just that the price won't come down.
Yeah, the price hasn't gone down. The price is actually going up. Crazy. Yeah, hold on. What's the average price of a battery now? 4 Pro. Phantom 4 Pro battery. Right now, the going price for them, 185, 185.
Right, because you got to remember, you still have the RT
one
kit
used,
and the multispectral
used batteries.
Still has.
129 for used battery. It seems the going price is 185. Let's see.
Rod.
Hey, let's see what Bang You Good is charging.
Oh God.
They don't even have it. They carry the third-party chargers and stuff and the fireproof bags.
Bang You Good. They said 6 months.
What's up, Roger?
From our warehouse to your house.
Yeah.
6 months.
Around the world in 80 days by foot. What you doing, Paul?
Editing.
Okay.
Editing. Oh, okay. So yeah, Lawrence, the Airbus is back in the news. Remember I was telling you before about the Airbus VSR 700 UAS? Well, the prototype of the Airbus helicopter VSR 700 UAS, the prototype took its first free air flight last week. What was interesting was at an airfield, at a drone testing airfield in the south of France.
Okay.
It took a little 10-minute flight that it had, that they conducted this test with this drone.
Well, now, I see on that they're going to be assigning these little VSR 700 Airbus drones to naval ships.
Right, but I thought was interesting about that, yeah, because it's not, I mentioned that it's a free flight. They've tested this, they've been working with this thing. The first test was on November of 2019, where it was tethered.
Right.
To meet regulatory requirements. said it needed to be tethered for the first test. But they've been testing this thing, and remember what you're saying is it is true.
Yeah, they've also been testing it under extreme conditions where the average helicopter and or drone could not go up. This
Right.
thing was able to fly with no problems.
Because let me tell you about this. Well, first thing about this little free test that they had here. They had to have what do you call it,
Hey, Michael
geofencing
Blade.
implemented to justify clearance for airworthiness through the authorities. But they also had to have a flight termination system in place in case something went wrong to be able to
Yes,
do this free test.
an abort mission. Well,
Now,
go ahead.
yeah, the thing about this, the VSR 700 is, like I said, it's an unmanned aerial system that operates at the 500 to 1,000 kilogram maximum takeoff weight. Now, they claim that this thing can carry. I mean, you mentioned the naval, so they mentioned here that it can carry multiple full-size naval sensors. So, with that being the case, I think they're going to have this thing operate because the biggest point of what they were saying with this was that it can operate from ships alongside helicopters with a low foot
Right, with a low footprint. With a low footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a drone that can actually operate in the sky next to a helicopter and not get knocked out of the sky is something. Now, did you see the specs on this thing?
I'm looking at it right now. 8 hours tactical load with full tactical
with a full load.
With a full load. So if they're carrying weapons, bombs, rescue equipment, etc., it can fly for 8 hours with or without that weight.
Right, or the full load. Now, what I thought was interesting is this thing is a little over 19 and a half feet long.
Yeah.
About 7 feet high.
Did you convert the speed in kilometers? 185 kilometers an hour is?
120 knots.
Huh?
120 knots.
Okay. How are you, Michael Blade? I'm sorry. I was in another window looking at this VSR drone. You guys want to look at the specs on it? There's the link. That'll be the last time I'm posting it. So if you're watching a live stream over, you're going to have to watch it with the chat, and you'll see the link for this VSR 700. And that window is closed. and now
that was the second time I saw this thing come up in one of our programs.
It's funny you say that.
We talked about some of the other tests that they were doing with this thing. What you were saying, what now?
It's funny you say that because I had an idea the military was going to go after that, because if you look at the shape of it, it's the same shape as that little pocket-sized dragonfly that they're issuing the Marine.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
It's virtually a helicopter.
Yes.
What's up? It doesn't need a pilot.
What's up, Big John? 314. How are you?
In the cockpit. What's up, John? It doesn't need a helicopter in the cockpit.
Yeah.
It is a helicopter. That's what they call it.
Right. Well, the fact that it's totally autonomous, and if you click on the link, you'll see that there's a tab that says missions. It can actually go out and do a better reconnaissance at a higher altitude. I don't know what 6,000 meters is, but I know it's got to be high.
Yeah, that's
so. And
because if you look on that page, it does have the conversion.
Right, and it says it has it has all of these options: infrared, ultraviolet, all these different things that it can use at the same time while searching, which helps confirm, because if you get a thermal hit in the water, now you need to get a visual look of it, and this drone can do all of that at one time.
And it can take
relay the information back in real time back to the mothership it launched from.
Right. and it's actually smaller than a regular helicopter.
Oh, hold on. Roger posted something. Prayers out to John Spizzo and friends. He passed away this past week. And he was, yes, John Spizzo. I'm sorry to hear that. Our condolences go out to
Sorry to
John
hear that.
Spizzo's family, his friends, and relatives. Very sorry to hear that. Thanks for that information. We appreciate it much, Roger.
Yep.
Thank you, Roger. Wow, I didn't know.
We did
Nothing.
on Roger's show this morning. Roger had a moment of silence for John Spizzo, and we said a prayer for him.
Okay, that's
Tried
what's
to watch Roger's show this morning. For some reason, I got bumped out, and I couldn't. I got bumped off, and I tried to get back in.
Yep.
nothing, John. Nothing's happening much. Everything's actually going good, real good. Just everyone's doing their own thing. That's all. Everyone's doing their own thing. Some of us are flying, some of us are not. Some of us are learning to fly, some of us are not.
Well, I can't get out, so I can't do much of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we appreciate you popping in, John.
I'm a
Haven't seen you
TV
in a
junkie.
minute. You know, you've been busy flying every day. I can't afford to fly every day. I wish I could, but
Yeah, I see John all the time out there.
yeah, I can't afford. I just can't afford to fly every day.
I see him out there. He gets around.
Well,
He's flying here and flying
you
there.
guys
and
give me a minute.
everywhere.
I'm gonna step away for a second and go get something to drink.
Uh-oh, what you getting?
You know what?
Ooh, here we go with dropping a shot Wednesday night.
No.
What you getting?
No.
What you getting?
No.
What you getting?
New job hours. I haven't really been flying lately.
Who?
Oh, well, you fly during lunchtime.
Hold on a second,
We
John.
be seeing.
When you say you haven't been flying,
I've really been flying, and he fly every day.
you
So what do you
haven't
call?
been putting in 8 hours, or you haven't, or you
Or
haven't
right,
been flying
or he
every
means,
day.
or
You haven't put in 8 hours of flying a day, or you haven't been putting in, you're flying.
yeah, because you fly every day during lunch, man. So I mean that for weather permitting. So does that mean you're not flying in the morning, you're not flying at lunchtime, and you're not flying at night, or does that mean you're just getting in an hour of flight or a 30-minute flight?
Or you getting more sleep? Which is it?
Oh, he's working regular hours now.
You're working regular hours. Okay.
Oh, he hasn't been flying FPV. He means FPV time.
I got you.
Okay. All right. I
I know
got
you
you.
fly.
Well,
John's not gonna let his bird knock it up. Yeah.
I think John's afraid to let dust get put on his birds. If dust gets on it, I got to take her out. She's got to go.
Well, I can't remember on whose channel it was, but one guy said something about his FPV drones have become dust bunnies.
Oh,
see,
no, that's not gonna happen.
That's not going to happen with John. No.
No.
Just see, he's only been able to fly just during lunchtime. See, give me a second. I'll be right back.
So you're not flying 8 hours a day no more.
I never got that drink.
Hey, fly natural. What's good, man?
What's up, Roosevelt? Fly natural. How are you, sir?
You can see all the way in the kitchen.
You notice how he kind of doesn't want us to watch where he's going, Herman.
He went to the kitchen. He said to get something to drink. I doubt he's got the cooler right next to him.
Yeah, exactly.
He could just dig his hand in there into the cold ice water to get a new one.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why, but those seem to be colder than the ones you take out the fridge.
Yeah, I think the cooled by ice, and then also it depends. I think that in a bottle is colder than in a plastic container.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that glass gets just cold.
Oh yeah. That's why, like, I have the water. I put water in the stainless steel canteen.
Yeah.
I think that gets even colder.
Roosevelt,
And
how are you, dude? I saw you. I saw that look you posted the other day. He got caught in the rain, I guess, running from the building to the car. It just looked like somebody poured a bucket of water on him. And the facial expression that he gave with the one eyebrow up and one down, like I totally understand.
So yeah, man, Paul. You know what? Also, that I noticed this week that I found was another thing here. Ehang seems to be back on the top.
Yes.
Now, you remember that Ehang that we saw, and they were talking about drone taxis. That's a totally different model. That's the I think that's the 185. I'm not mistaken, but
yes, that's a smaller single passenger Ehang.
Is it? I thought it
Yes,
was
it
bigger
is because
because
the
that was the
Ehang.
one with the big ducks on the top.
No, but that's the smaller model because the Ehang 216 that you're about to talk about is strictly two passenger. If you remember,
Right.
she was in the one pass. Wait.
No. I'm saying to you, the big one that they had with the big ducks on the top.
Yeah. I remember that one.
That one I believe was the 185.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have the numbers mixed up.
But the 216 happens to be the one that's in the report today, where it has obtained a special operations certificate from guess where?
Where?
Transport Canada and the Canadian Drone Hub. No. From Transport Canada. It's the first of its kind to permit.
Tim Jackson, how are you, sir?
Tim's here.
Oh, hey, Tim, what's good, man?
Tim Jackson, the exalted one.
He's the one. He's the man with the chair.
If you guys see me moving off screen, it's
only. You know what? He's actually got me buying a chair now.
But yeah, there you go.
It's the first of its kind of a certificate of such for passenger drones in North America, or should I say, for passenger grade drones, AAVs in North America. So this certificate is going to allow them to conduct operations in the Quebec province. So this is going to set a precedent of how things go on now, I guess, in the not only in Canada, but the rest of the urban areas in North America. When it comes to this, and a lot of people thought that these things weren't going to come to pass. We all heard about Ehang in China and what's going on in China. They got go over there in China with Ehang. And now Transport Canada has given Ehang, the green light to go with it. And
well, that link right there I posted is the actual. What country are they in? Sweden or someplace that they're actually getting ready to start using the
Ehang? No,
the 216.
They just got a special certificate from Transport Canada.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be happening in
but
Canada.
I have this video is a demonstration flight in Vienna.
Because of the demonstration.
I'm sorry. I missed.
Yeah, that was just some of their demonstration footage of tests with this thing.
Ehang 216. Okay, I got you.
The Ehang 216 has gotten, Ehang itself has gotten approval from the U.S. FAA, the CAA of Norway. That's probably why you see stuff from Sweden and other places there, and also from the CAA of China. Now they've gotten approval from Canada.
Okay.
So, and Canada has given them the full go for operations and testing to take place in Quebec province.
That's good.
So
that's good. So that's what's up.
The big thing. So I've seen now where Transport Canada has given certificates for now passenger drones as well as testing for delivery drones.
Is that the article, Herman? Is that the article where they made a deal with Transport Canada to use the prime minister as a test dummy, crash dummy?
I'm not
The
exactly
views and
sure
opinions you heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight.
I'm quite sure that he might have opportunity for one of the first flights once they have everything supposedly perfected.
Well, Tim Jackson, it's still early.
Founder of was it the founder, chairman, and CEO of Ehang? What's his name? Don't let me mess this up.
I
Wang Z Q. Yeah,
couldn't even begin to tell you.
Wang Z Q stated that we are pleased to see the Ehang 216 receive such an important certificate from the TCC. So, boom.
Here you are, Tim
Canada.
Jackson. It is still early over there in Australia. Tim Jackson's he says that I asked him how's the morning going so far. He says, well, it's going good so far. I'm like, dude, it's morning. It's still early.
This morning. What time is it over there, Tim?
I think he's the exact opposite. I think it's 5:45 over there.
Okay,
Quarter
so
to
get
7.
some coffee.
5:45, 5:45. Now you know there ain't no damn coffee you just held up.
You held it a little too high. You got to cup it with your hands. So
I ain't never seen coffee with an ice cube in it.
Okay, it's
And it
ice
wasn't
coffee.
ice. Uh-huh.
Nice coffee.
Ice coffee. I make it weak and I throw ice cubes in it.
Is that an ice cube or a lemon?
Well, you could have said it was iced tea because that's about the right color.
That's what it looked like.
Last time I told you it was iced tea, you told me,
No matter what you put up, I'm gonna say something about it. See, that's why I'm drinking my beer off screen.
So what's this? That's iced tea? Or is it too dark?
That's too dark to be apple on apple crime.
It's iced tea.
Okay, all right, you got that one. Don't jinx me, Mars. It's 7:45, Herman. So
have some coffee.
yes, man, have some coffee. Relax. Enjoy the live stream while you get a chance before you have a chance to go out to work. I'm just looking at the playback, and Herman looks like a commercial right now, holding the tea up like that.
I actually have a problem with this Ehang 216.
What happened? You foresee a problem?
I have a problem with this Ehang 216.
Which is?
Okay. You and I are together, and we got to get across to the other side of the river. And then Ehang people are there with this thing, and we got to get across the other side. You know,
you go first.
I got to wait for it to come back, right?
You go first.
Because if the both of us get in there, not only somebody's arm's going to be hanging out through the window, but I think our feet might be outside too.
Hanging out the window trying to fly.
You see how small that thing? It looks like it's smaller than the smart car.
It is. If you guys look at this link that I posted with this Ehang, they show these guys. Now, these guys are average heights. I would say maybe one guy is about 5'6".
Not one of those guys is
5'7".
a 32
guys
waist,
maybe
bro.
about 5'8". Now, if you know,
none of those guys is over a 30-inch waist, bro.
Right, but exactly. If you know the history of most Asian products, they're all designed small. These guys are in this helicopter. If you fast forward in the link to 30 seconds, you'll see it taking off. And these guys literally have to duck to get inside. I'm 6'3". Okay. I don't know where the half-inch went, but I'm 6'3". And I find it very, very hard to believe they could get someone like Herman and me in it at the same time and be able to close the doors. So, I mean, unless you're a very petite person, you're not going to be riding around in these things for a while. But the Ehang 185 that Herman's talking about with the big giant helical props on top, prop guards on top, that's a 4-passenger joint.
There's the ice cream vendor right there.
She's out there looking for you, Paul.
Hit him. Get the scoops.
So Herman,
you
notice something? Notice something, Herman?
What? What'd you do with it?
It's outside waiting for trash.
I thought you had it fold out of the wall.
Oh no, it is literally gone. Well, not the beer. I don't want to show the beer, but it's literally gone.
So now what do you do? Expand the computer desk onto the other side?
His and hers.
Well,
yep.
I would have liked to have had a workbench here so I could turn around, but that's not happening. Don't make him have to mute you.
His and hers, right?
Don't make him have to mute you, Paul.
Don't make me curse.
Well, is that a hallway door next to you, or is that a closet door?
That door actually goes under the porch to the trap that goes to the street, and it has the gas meter and the water meter in there.
Well, that could be your next home right there.
Yeah, with the centipedes, right, Paul?
Yeah, when the wife takes over this as a permanent office, you know, you just go up.
Well, it looks like that's already done because they had an employee whose daughter came to New York from Texas, and that employee was told to stay home until they got tested. So everyone's working from home again full time.
I cannot see Lawrence going in and out of there to shoot, to do live streams and edit videos.
Sideways to go through the door as it is.
Well,
sitting in there on a little bucket with his computer on the desk.
Yep. Excuse me, honey, I'd like to go to my office now.
Sitting in there with my tower, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I got my tower, my microphone, my
you'd have everything. At least some lights in there.
You're just plain messed up, Paul.
I
thought you loved me. I thought you loved me, Paul.
We do love you, but Herman and I are always thinking in your best interest.
You don't have a service light in there?
A service light?
Yeah.
There's a light in there.
Okay, see, you got a service light in there.
One of those light bulbs that are hanging and swings, you know?
Oh, and
a service light means that if they have to come in there to look to read things or to see on the meters and anything, that there's a light available for them to see without having to.
So it could be any light source, fireflies.
Yeah.
No.
Matches.
Like
headlamp.
No, like when I do a service, right? When I do a service, I got to make sure I put a
light
Roger overhead, so that way if anybody has to work on that equipment, they can always come and turn the light on and be able to see what they're doing without having to hold a flash.
Tim Jackson.
Now, if the power's out, then there's not a damn thing that I could do about that.
That's true. Tim Jackson says he's drinking an iced coffee. All right, see, that's what's up. I like iced coffee. It is. It is a shame to hear what happened to John Spizzo.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I just heard about it just now. I don't get a chance to get on the computer during the day as much as you guys.
I didn't hear about it until just now.
Yeah. Until Roger.
I remember you always used to give me a hard time.
Yeah, right. After he fought so hard to get a blue wrench. we finally broke down and gave him a blue wrench.
I talked to him in other chats too, other channels.
Now, I want to know, Herman and Paul, are you guys experiencing this? Because Amazon is on some, hold on. The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight, but Amazon is on some new shit. You know how you're a Prime member, right? And they tell you, well, if you order now, if you order within the next 6 hours, you can get your everything tomorrow, right?
Right.
I made an order. I ordered some tempered glass to put over my GoPro. Okay. And another GoPro. And what happened is when I made the payment, everything was scheduled to be here tomorrow. So of course, I went and clicked OK because you check to make sure your stuff is going to be here tomorrow. So then after they took my money and I received a confirmation that the money was good, I received another email saying delivery 1 of 2 packages. We're splitting your packages. You're getting delivery of 1 of 2 packages tomorrow.
Right.
So in other words, what happened to that next day? What happened to that next day thing? I mean, I got the tempered glass protector.
Right,
But
that's the one that told you that it was coming the next day, though. That
yeah, but see, that's that bullshit. Because had I known that the camera wasn't coming today, I might have went elsewhere. You
because
hear?
what I
So
was going to
Amazon,
tell you with
so
them,
Amazon, you're listening. Stop telling people they're going to get their packages, multiple packages in one day, and then after they make a payment, they turn around and say, "Oh, you're getting one of those things tomorrow."
well, let me also tell you the other little trick with that one. They also have one where you can get your stuff. I don't know. They haven't been doing this since Corona, but before Corona, there was time where you can get stuff that day if you ordered it early that morning.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot hit the buy now button. You have to put it in your cart first
Wow, I'm
to
here.
be able
I'm
to
just
get those
drinking my
features.
beer.
You hit
I'm
that
here.
buy now button, you lose all the agreements. That's the trick with Amazon. Still there, Lawrence? Or you going off screen to eat? Come back.
Well, I was a little upset because I could have went somewhere where I could have got it today.
Okay. Where? Well, I
Walmart.
mean,
Walmart. Walmart.
well, Wally World.
Yeah, Wally World. Exactly. I could have hopped my ass on a bus today, this morning, and been there when they opened
Mm-hmm.
and had it. But no, we've all become Amazonians.
Well, I will tell you this: Wally
And you
World.
wait for that box with that fake ass smile on the side.
You know me, Lawrence. I'm not one to tell anybody about shopping at Wally World, even though they do have those SanDisk SD cards, the ones everybody
Hey, me
needs.
as a drone adventure. I wish I had known. That would have been worth taking a trip. But I didn't get back until after a certain time, so today wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, the Wally
And
World.
yeah,
Wally
today
World.
wouldn't have worked, and tomorrow I'm going to be out all day.
Now I don't know what they are online with Wally World. They might even be cheaper, but I haven't checked that out. My sister brought it to my attention because she knows I use the SD card. See, I told you they kind of support me, Lawrence.
What happened?
I said I told you they kind of support me.
They think about you, but they just don't want to feed you.
Right. Exactly. Oh yeah,
They would they would well,
they fault.
they tried. Best Buy does that too. Yes. You tell them you're going to get something and you want something in
Call it a
2
price
days.
match.
Yeah, the price match. A
What are
lot
you
of
talking
stores.
about that 2 day thing?
Yeah, the switching they call it the look up while I punch you in the belly move. You know,
Oh well, all your items can't get there next day, or you can get the one you can
but
get
you
next
need
day.
to
Or are
tell
you
me
going to
that.
wait for all of it to come?
You need to
Or
tell me that.
it should have told you that in the thing when you scroll down under the next thing when it
That's why
says
it said
continue,
it did. It said
proceed to
we're
purchase.
well. It said we're shipping we're splitting your order, and we're sending
Mm-hmm.
one of two tomorrow, and the other first they had told me next week Wednesday, and I called them and I was like, look, there's a warehouse in New Jersey, one state over from me. There's no way in
Uh-huh.
hell I'm gonna wait 1 week for you guys to send it to me. I want my money back. She comes back on later and after about 2 minutes and says, sir, the earliest I can get it to you is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I really needed it today, but okay. Because you can't let them know that you're happy with them doing this to you. That
Well,
defeats the purpose in Prime, no.
I've been getting stuff on time with them. I actually ordered some stuff while I was in Pennsylvania and
Okay.
contacted the neighbor to pick it up for me. If not, then it might have been piled up out there or somebody would have hijacked my stuff.
Well, all I know is be careful when you're ordering from Amazon now. That Prime membership thing, the
Mm-hmm.
next day only applies, and they should state it somewhere. And I'm sure they do, but you're not going to read the terms of service and through 5,000 pages of their agreement just to find that
Telling
little
me
issue
they
out.
just didn't see it.
Huh?
It was there. You didn't see it.
Yeah, of course. Bullshit.
I'm just saying. I mean, because that's happened to me, where I've and that's how I found out about the other thing too, about having to put the item in the cart. If you hit that buy now, all of that is null and void.
I'm waiting for you to get to that story with the autonomous helicopters.
Oh, I didn't have
And
a story on
and the
the
reason I'm waiting for you to get to that is because I see that story as becoming the poor man's drone.
I didn't have the story on that tonight. I just had the Ehang and the
Okay.
what you call
Well,
yeah.
Herman sent me a video of a totally autonomous company that's making helicopters by Airbus.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Yeah. They're okay. All
That
right.
was
I should have showed. I should have
the
showed.
VSR 700. That's the same one that's been made into many different platforms, but mainly the one
Way
that
above and
they've been
beyond.
working on was with the Navy. They're trying to
But
get
there's
that.
a link there. If you've never seen a helicopter flying autonomously, that will be the poor man's drone, because all of these helicopters, they're not going to get rid of. They're still functionable. They still work. It's just a matter of putting an autonomous system inside. How are you, Broke Necks? Welcome to Wednesday Nights with those guys.
And
At
then
work?
now they did have where I believe it was if I'm not mistaken, it were these fighter jets that they're also converting
Yep.
into autonomous
What was that? The
autonomous jet.
F-18? F
Yeah, I think so.
something?
Yeah, until the Q, they were converting them to the Q something.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure on that. I didn't finish reading now or checking out that part of the article. I just went over when I saw the thing on Ehang and on Airbus, I just went over there to check out what Airbus and Ehang both were saying about those two specific articles and what they had on their aircrafts. I didn't have the time to get into that article on the conversion of the fighter jets over to autonomous fighter jets. That all comes into that whole thing where they were talking about being able to send one fighter jet up with one pilot and being able to have a bunch of autonomous
And have autonomous drones flying with them in formation.
Yeah, right.
Well, the future is here. Also,
But
as far as
I did catch that 40% of the orders on those fighter jets have been fulfilled already, though. That I did catch. How many they actually ordered for the Air Force, I don't know.
Paul looks
But
like he's getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. AZ drones, how are you, AZ drone, dude? What's up? I was about to mention your neighbors, but didn't want to raise your blood pressure unnecessarily above and beyond. I hope that they are only bark and no bite. Oh, I don't know what's happening there. But
yeah,
Paul,
that
what's
video
happening with
was
you?
crazy.
What's happening with you, Paul, and the skunks and neighbors' cars getting hit? What's new this week?
Pretty much ever since I put up the big LED lights on the front of the garage that has the sensor and goes on when it detects anybody.
Yeah.
Everything's been cut down. The skunks are far and few between. I think they've moved on to better places. And
did he catch any?
He caught a possum and a skunk, but then for for last weekend, nothing. No, different traps.
Okay.
And so
that would have been interesting.
Yeah. And so what the hell is going on around this place? Last night, the only thing I saw was a cat, black cat.
Well, cats mean there's no other animals around because they're scared of everything.
Well, you know what's funny?
Unless it's a New York City cat.
You know what's funny about that, Lawrence? Remember I told you out here when after the weekend, they pile up all that garbage, and they have it's worse when the school is in session.
Yeah, because
they pile up all that garbage there, and the rats just have a field day. So I come back from PA, and there's no other spot to park but right past Puppy City.
Right.
Now I call it Puppy City, Paul, because these puppies are some good-sized rats running through this garbage.
The rats
they bigger than
small puppies.
They're bigger than some size 15 shoes.
He's not lying, Paul. These rats look like small newborn puppies.
So I call it Puppy City over there because they go in and out of there like it's nothing. So I'm parked and I gotta wait for assistance to get in and out of the car because of my foot. So I'm waiting on my sister, and while I'm sitting there waiting, I see them running up and down, and then I see this cat coming, and the cat, he's looking, he stops, and they disappear. The cat's looking, he's smelling, the cat's looking, and I see the cat get closer, and he gets down like he's in like attack mode or something, I don't know. And he's looking, and he's smelling, and he goes towards where they run to, and I don't see him for like about a good 15 minutes. Then I see him come walking out, he looks around, he walks down the street like it's no big deal.
Wow.
5 minutes more go by.
He had one in his mouth?
No, about 5 minutes more go by, and one of them come out, and they look, and they just run back into the garbage.
Yeah. The population over there is.
He must have had them on the go.
What's this, Paul? Oh, you get nice and bright now. Now they can see what they're eating, the delectables.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that light comes on, they take off, don't they, Paul?
Yes.
Because they trigger it.
Yep. Well, here it comes. Right there. See the pussy cat?
Yeah, I see the cat.
Okay.
That cat is around there hunting. You know that. If he picks up the scent of something. Interesting.
And he comes down here.
Just a cat lately, huh?
Yeah,
no more deers, coyotes, or bears.
Ain't nobody coming around, Paul, and burn up their mouth. And
there he goes back again, and all of a sudden he gets the light hits him right here. Oh,
yeah, that don't bother him. He didn't even flinch. He didn't even flinch.
Nope.
He's like, you help me see my prey.
But that would have caused that deer to take off, and he had seen that light blast him like that.
Yeah.
Or those skunks.
Either that or would have blinded him with fear. He couldn't move. Well, I guess that's a good thing, Paul, because if the cat's around there, that cat knows that cat wouldn't come around with skunk. No. So when was the last time you saw skunks? And the one that you caught, was it an adult or a baby?
4 or 5 days ago, I saw one, and he caught the other ones last week. So.
Okay. Let's hope he caught mama or father, mommy or daddy, and.
But see, they were frolicking around 6 at a time before, not anymore.
Yeah, that was with mommy and daddy there. If one of them are missing, they'd be a little less reluctant to go out there.
Yep. They moved on.
Either that or they're going to catch Paul one night when he come outside and spray him.
Remember that white X? Remember that white X that was on the garbage can?
Yeah.
That white X is going to be painted on his door next. He didn't go for the garbage can, but he's got to open that door. Yep. Sooner or later, he's got to come out for food. He's gonna open the door and the train's gonna be coming.
Paul's gonna go to the car one day to get in the car, and it's gonna be all around the car is gonna be sprayed.
No,
He's
worse
gonna
than
car,
that. Worse than that, Herman. He's gonna get in his car. He's like, "What's that smell?" He's gonna turn around, look in the back seat.
They're gonna be in the back seat.
They're gonna spray him.
Everybody, make sure you hit that like button, whether you're coming or going or somewhere in between.
Yes, please make sure you do. Please make sure you do.
If you hit it on the way in, don't hit it on the way out. But if you didn't hit it on the way in, make sure you hit it on the way out.
Well, tomorrow's going to be a long day. I don't mind. I'm prepared for it. I got my lunch for tomorrow and everything.
Okay.
And I'm just... I need to hit the number or something.
It's you. I've been saying that for a long time now. I guess.
The problem,
you know what it is? I know why I haven't hit it.
The problem is, the reason why I haven't hit is because I don't play it.
Well, I know why I haven't hit it.
You gonna catch that ship, Paul?
I could, but here comes a new, another set of turbine props.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Are they setting up a farm somewhere?
They're taking them all up north, someplace up in Canada.
Okay.
But I must get 3 or 4 of those ships a week loaded up with all that stuff.
That's interesting. It sounds like they're setting up a farm somewhere.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting.
They were supposed to set up a 120 fan farm off the coast of New York, between New York and New Jersey, but I don't see when that's going to happen.
Well, the sad part about that about this kind of energy, it's not 100% clean, because they figure that each one of those kill between 50 and 100 birds a year.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that happening, but there's give and take, you know that, with everything.
Oh, yeah. Yep. But it's, the ecologists say, oh,
do they kill the birds, or do the birds fly into it?
The birds fly into them because they don't know better.
It's the same thing with girls.
That's the reason they put them up in the air, because people would be dumb like sheep too. They'd walk right in there, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
Same thing with murals and other things, Paul.
Yeah.
When those birds fly into those things all the time, and check out.
You know how many times birds fly into new skyscrapers?
Oh, countless.
So,
Yeah, every time you put up a new skyscraper, that's what they have to worry about.
My cousin used to have birds, and he lost his bird like that. The bird flew into his bedroom wall because of the mural.
Because of the mirror?
The mural.
Oh, okay.
Their birds have some of them are weird.
Well, they have good eyesight, but I don't think they have a lot of depth perception. They just see it.
Right.
And go.
Yeah. Only ones that have good depth perception are like the predatory birds who have
eagles,
3D, who can see 3-dimensional. The other birds, it was something crazy about hunting. I remember a hunter saying how you could tell a predator between the prey, and he was saying something about eyes on the side, you better hide, and eyes in the front.
Yeah.
It was something related to that. But if animals or predatory animals that can see in 3D are usually the best hunters. The ones excluding sharks, because their eyes are on the side, and they're hell of a hunters. But in most situations, animals that have the eyes on the sides are usually prey.
Yep. And if you think about it, like hawks and eagles, they've got the brow with the eyes kind of right here, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Most predatory animals can have that depth perception. I mean, if you're a hawk and you're diving at 110 miles per hour, you need to know when to pull out.
You need to know
You
where you're
didn't see,
going. Yep.
you didn't see that thing where they had the that was had an eagle on the tallest building in Dubai, and he had a camera on him, and his handler was on the ground. Now the camera could not pick up the handler on the ground.
But the eagle could.
Now, when he made his hand gestures, the eagle took off and started to fly down, and you still couldn't see this guy as the eagle was coming down on the camera. You still couldn't see him until he got closer. Then you were able to pick him up as the eagle was coming down.
Yeah, I could
the
believe
eagle
that.
could see him, and the camera couldn't.
I could believe it. They say eagles and hawks can see a rabbit from 200 feet up, 300 feet up.
Yep.
That's some damn eyesight. That's better than zoom function on the DJI Mavic 2 zoom. On the Mavic 2 zoom, and I thought that was an impressive zoom feature that it had.
Yep.
I don't know how many times the zoom actually
I don't know
was.
if they do or not, but they can see very well.
Hawks have GPS. I found hawks, eagles, all of them.
They can see well, but I don't know if they have GPS.
They technically fly. Well, migratory birds, they've already proven fly because they're somehow synced to the magnetic poles of the earth, so they know which way is north and which way is south. So they rarely get lost unless it's like a crazy storm or something to that effect.
You mean to tell me that these geese we got all over New York?
No, those are just lazy ass birds. No, those are lazy ass birds. There was a time the Canadian geese used to come down to New York when the weather got really bad in Canada, and they just come here and decided to live.
What bird is more lazy than a seagull?
True. Valid point.
Paul, what bird is more lazy than a seagull? Come on, they've converted to eating garbage and handout than to go and grab fish.
Well, they say the dumbest bird of all is the dodo bird, so I don't know.
Yeah, and they're extinct.
Yeah.
And
so
the pigeon's natural diet was garbage.
What happened?
The pigeon's natural diet is garbage.
Yes, that's true.
The seagull has resorted to living a life of a pigeon, like a raccoon. Eat whatever they can find.
Right, they rip holes in garbage.
They don't hunt anymore and catch fish on the top of the water and swoop down and grab them. They don't do that anymore. They eat garbage. They said if you were eating a chicken leg down by the beach, you got to wrap that up and throw it in the garbage because it will not hit the boardwalk floor.
Yeah, that's true. Geese stay in Ohio too. You know what it is? Canadian geese have realized, why should I fly back to Canada when I can stay the hell down here and be fed easily?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're eating trash.
Huh?
They're eating trash. They're polluting the water.
Yeah.
Because you see down there by Division, when they feed them all that bread,
they're
supposed to be eating bread. When the hell does it ever become in a bird's diet to eat baked goods?
You're right, but they learn to eat. What do people do with their molded bread or whatever? They throw it out and the birds get it.
Well,
or their rice.
Depends where you throw it.
Or like in this household, you can come out in my driveway. There's rice on the ground. There's bread on the ground. There's cake on the ground. So,
cake.
Listen, if you're giving me an option for eating bland rice or cake, guess what I'm going for?
Cake.
Fries. That's true, Mia's drone. Seagulls attack people. There are Mia's drone. There's a place there called Atlantic City in New Jersey. It's a casino resort. There's a bunch of casinos there, and the seagulls have been known to distract people
bump and run
to
on
make them
this
go, and when you raise your hand, another one swoops down and snatches the hot dog. They work like teams now over there, or they'll just come and flap around you until you drop your stuff, and they work pretty. Yeah,
That's where the lady got for her pizza. The bird swooped down on her. She spun around and like kind of and dropped the pizza, and the other one's like, whoop, got it, and let's go.
yep. We'll
Yeah,
split it. We'll split it when we get to the ground. Okay. Yeah, I see the tubes right there. That's definitely going to a farm somewhere. What's the destination of that ship? I'm sure you can pull it up on marine tracking. I'd be interested to know if they're going south or north.
They're going
Because
somewhere.
right now is optimum time for putting wind turbines up anywhere along the east coast of the United States. And that ship's going out, right, Paul? Okay.
Okay.
We have a huge crow problem here in Vancouver. I thought for years it was homeless picking through the garbage until I saw a couple of the birds are very smart. They know if they pick a hole in a garbage bag, they're eaten. They're full.
So, you know what's funny? The crow he's around, but he's not that much of a problem out here. He's more of a problem to the sparrows.
Yeah. Yeah, the little brown birds.
Yeah.
They're about this big. The ones where the babies are always on the ground flapping their wings with their mouth open.
The little brown ones, they were brown and black, black, and a little white in them.
Paul Albuquerque wants to know where you're located. Okay, that ship you're tracking now.
It's headed for Bay City, Michigan. So it's going to go up here like this and around like this. And here's Bay City right here.
Okay.
All right. So they're putting some kind of wind farm, or either they're transporting.
In that area up there.
Yeah.
Midland, Bay City.
Is that low-lying terrain?
No, it's not low-lying terrain, but there would, unless they've got the area cleared, it's really heavy with trees and lumber and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, someplace they're taking them somewhere.
And there's farms up there too. So.
Okay.
All right. Wolf silhouettes to scare geese downtown. Well, they try that with dog silhouettes, and the geese use them for shade. You know, they have the silhouette of a dog that are like on the golf courses, because the golf courses are covered with geese. You hit your ball, and your ball goes, and geese jump and dump and all of that. And what happens is they started putting silhouettes of dogs. Tell me why it's for geese sitting behind the silhouette of the dog in the shade.
All right, so if you familiar with Washington Square Park, right? And and you're familiar with the other park there on Union Square.
Mm-hmm. That little triangle.
Yes, right there by 14th Street and Broadway.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. One time I went over there because I had to get some copies made last year during the season for some of my stuff for football. Go over to Staples, and I had my father over at the doctor in the building across the street. So I went across. There's a guy in the park that has these little statues, the identical size of the average pigeon.
Yeah.
And he's got them painted to look like pigeons, and they're out there in different positions. And the crazy shit about it is that
people try to feed them.
No, the pigeons are moving around them, looking at them and walking around them amongst them.
Wonder why they're not moving.
He has them scattered like out on the floor.
Right.
The pigeons in the park will land, and the pigeons will walk through them. And it's like, this is ridiculous.
And wondering why they're not moving, probably.
Yeah, like I wonder what the pigeons think of these things.
Oh, Albuquerque quadcopter says he loves Washington Square Park. What you know about New York City, Albuquerque quadcopter? Where are you from that you know about Washington Square Park in the village? That I'd be interested to know.
Washington.
I mean, it's not like your profile has a lot of information on it, but I do know people who have YouTube channels who don't upload anything, and they have accounts because they're on Google, and Google requires that YouTube and Google and all that stuff goes together.
Uh-huh.
He's from New Jersey. Okay, see, all right,
Okay.
all right, all right. All right. You get a pass on that because that's basically New York, the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, which I would like to commend. I would like to commend the governor of New York, the governor of New Jersey, and the governor of Connecticut, because till today, present day, even though the corona is going crazy in the United States, the numbers are slowly going back up, but nowhere near the amount that they are.
That's because
Jersey,
they didn't care about your freedoms.
huh?
They didn't care about your freedoms. They did what they needed to do.
That's true.
Keep everybody keep everybody safe.
Oh, he said that's
And
his
to
old
hell with
stomping grounds.
my constitutional right.
Okay, he's Albuquerque says that's his old stomping grounds. I used to teach. I used to get off at West 4th Street and 6th Avenue, and I used to walk to Houston East to Houston Street. There's a school there called City as a School. I graduated from that school, and I used to teach there. And then after teaching,
All the bad kids go.
Mayor Koch laid off 2,600 teachers. They hired me as computer tech in that same school. There's a pool on Houston and 7th Avenue. There's a YMCA there. Yep. And there's a pool and there's paddleball courts on the other side. The school is right across the street from there. So I'm very familiar with that area. And
Was the guy
pizzeria that was in the first original Spider-Man movie. Huh?
The guy that used to run the rec center, Carmine.
Yes. Yeah. Carmine Street. You're right. And my brother lived on Houston, and the feast every September in Little Italy. Yes, San Gennaro, which hurt them. They got hurt. Those restaurants got really hurt this year with COVID, because it said whatever you didn't do throughout the year in Little Italy, the San Gennaro festival was the time everybody went into the black. They were above and in profit, not in the red, and hopefully, if people start listening and watching the tri-state area, New Jersey, it's going up, it's spiking a little, but not severely. The New Jersey, I think, can handle it, but New York and Connecticut, he got thrown out of Webster Hall. Now, see, that sound like you're a rude boy.
One of them kind.
You sound like you're a rude boy. You got thrown out of Webster Hall, man. Come on now. Who did you punch? Who did you punch? Slap or kick?
Webster Hall. Okay. So then you remember Union Square and all those clubs back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or was that just before your time?
Well, Albuquerque, he said Webster Hall, and you know Webster Hall goes back through generations.
And then
but nobody from today's generation knows what the hell Webster Hall is. He goes, no. Either that, and back then at Webster Hall, they were doing acid, not ecstasy. So let's see. Let us more into your psyche.
What was that other joint over there? The Palladium. They turned it into
the Palladium. They had the Limelight. They actually put the Limelight club in a church, and it was doing bad up until they put it in this church. And when the Limelight was in the church, it was doing really, really good successfully. But the problem was, outside the church, people were passing out and throwing up, and the neighborhood said, you need to get rid of that club.
That's not exactly what happened. That's not why he got in trouble.
What happened?
They were doing the drugs inside the club. And
that was a given.
Special ambulance set up. Yeah, no, we had a special because they didn't want them passing out and the bouncers throwing them out the club. So he had the ambulance drop them off at the hospital and leave them. That's how he got in trouble.
Yes, I hung out at the China Club too. Webster Hall was a bouncer problem. Well, it was called bouncers or called crowd control. And if the club gets too crowded, you pick the guys who are the drunkest and making the most noise and kick them out so you can let more people in. That's a bouncer thing. But yeah, okay. You give me a little flashback from my village days, riding skateboards. I used to leave for school on Monday and tell my moms I'll see you later, and she wouldn't see me until Wednesday or Thursday because because we were going to school in the village, but my friend, one of his parents, hold on, one of his parents were in the Philharmonic Orchestra, and the other one was a surgeon, and he lived in a loft. Now the loft, you guys know, when you see the old New York movies with the freight elevator that could hold a car, you would go up, and there were two apartments in the loft on one floor. His parents lived on one side and he lived on the other. And to show how bored this kid was and what kind of money he had, one day he decided to have a party. One weekend, he decided to have a party. And he went to the local lumber yard and he designed a labyrinth.
Who?
So when a labyrinth, a maze. So when you got off the elevator, his parents' apartment, he sealed off with a wall, and he said, "Party in this direction," and you'd follow the arrow, and then it'd say, "From this point on, there are no more arrows." And you could hear the music pumping and people laughing and joking, but you couldn't get to the freaking party. There were people asleep in the hallway. People were sitting by the elevator like, yo, I tried to get in. I couldn't get in. Make a long story short, he turned his apartment, his side of the loft, into a maze. And his parents went and had contractors go in and rip everything up. Because after the party, he left the maze up. So to get into his apartment, unless you went there regularly, you probably couldn't find it, or you'd run into dead ends and stuff like that. Making me look like an angel. I was one of the organizers for the New York Scooter Club in 2004 and 2008.
And that story was,
these blogs, right?
hey, Lawrence, that story was utterly amazing.
Well, you know what? We were in high school. We were in our senior year in high school, and he was the rich kid. I didn't have a skateboard. He gave me my first skateboard. Just because every time after school, they would ride across from the west side on Carmine Street and 7th Avenue to the east side. And I would always go and get on the train. So they gave me a skateboard. And from that time on, he gave me a skateboard. I wouldn't come home for 2 or 3 days. I didn't have to, because I could always crash at someone else's house. And they would have change. Huh?
I was telling Paul, I don't know if he's ever seen some of these lofts that we have here in New York.
Yeah.
You know, Paul, some of them are like when you go
I'll be
in
right back.
to that floor. Is Paul still there? Well,
yeah, I'm back now, Herman. I had to go close the back door. Mia went out and came back in.
All right. Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know what some of these lofts look like in New York, when somebody tells you they bought a big New York loft and they put their apartment in there, it's essentially a building, and they actually purchase that floor of the building. And sometimes it's actually like 2 stories high.
Wow.
Some maybe even a little higher than that. And you can build your apartment in this thing. And some people have built upstairs, and you know, you have, like Lawrence said, sometimes you have a big freight elevator, and sometimes they've converted it into a regular elevator. But these they have a big steel door. Your wall to your apartment is concrete cinder block with steel. So no one can actually kick down your wall and get into your apartment. And then somebody, you know, you got to get a guy to put a big steel door in there to replace the big sliding steel door they have on some of them. You know, some of them make some very nice apartments if you can get it done and get the walls.
How many square feet would they be, Herman?
It depends. Some of them, like Lawrence said, you can put more than one apartment in some of them. And sometimes some people have the whole damn floor. But it's huge. You know, you're talking about a lot of them were storage buildings, the old time storage buildings or parking lots and shit like that.
Wow.
They're huge, some of these things. Yeah, Tom. Lofts we were talking about, yeah.
Lawrence has got his
Converting the
mic.
law.
Lawrence has got
Yeah,
his mic
factory
turned off, but
buildings.
we don't
Yeah.
want to tell him.
Hey,
Don't
what's
tell him.
up, Tom? How are you?
Yeah. A
Don't
lot
tell
of
him.
them are
He's,
factory buildings.
he was fitting into the mold of becoming an old guy because his lips were moving and we didn't hear anything.
That's true. The lofts were converted factories turned,
Yeah.
hey, global drones,
Some of them they turned into apartment buildings where you got multiple apartments on that floor, and some of them been converted into schools, jails, all kind of things. These buildings.
yeah.
The whole forget about it. You can play baseball up there in some of these.
Yes, some of the places that if they had
build
the
those
warehouse
on
size
the columns.
ceilings, you could probably play a game of anything you wanted in there in these lofts because it was the entire floor of a building that stretched for a city block. So if you have a city
Exactly.
block, that's
The
a city block.
ceiling-
It, Paul, is if you take 10 of your local blocks,
Yeah.
I think it's 10 or 20 of your local blocks, that makes one city block.
Wow.
So if you have a building that's one city block across, half a city block this way, or a city block this way, and a city, those are very, very big buildings. Some as large as 5,000 square foot, but usually around 1,000 square feet.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of feet.
Yeah. Yeah. And in Manhattan, they sell space by the square foot. I don't know what the going rate is.
Better off with getting one of those out of Manhattan now.
Yeah.
Because right over there by Commodore Barry Park, that building that was right next door to right around from the precinct when we flew up over those buildings right there by by Brooklyn Point.
Yes.
Those buildings over there are loft buildings, and people live in those buildings there. Some of those people have the whole damn floor.
Okay,
Right,
here's the question, and this may sound phenomenal, okay, but on the island of Manhattan, Paul, there are places, and I just Googled it. What is the average price per square foot in Manhattan? This is the average price for 1 square foot, 12 by 12 square, $1,371
$2,000
per square foot. Per square foot.
And can you imagine the taxes on anything that's like 1,000 square feet?
That's why when you buy it, it's either condo or office space, because unless you have money coming in like that, and unless you have money coming in like that, it's crazy. Now they have a building. I need to find out because
for the other building, Lawrence, for one floor.
You guys are familiar with the Ronzoni building?
Point. Lawrence, wasn't it 3 million for one floor at Brooklyn Point?
Yep. Okay, Jay, there's a building in Manhattan. Tom, Lens Capture, you and Herman know about it. Herman calls it the Ronzoni building because J-Lo and A-Rod brought an apartment in this building, and I'm trying to find the proper price.
That street over there.
It's 432 Park. They brought their condo apartment. Now keep in mind, this condo is the entire floor. You get on that floor through an access card. If you don't have an access card, the elevator will not stop on that floor. But from what it's showing me right now, Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod list their 432 apartment condo for $17.5 million.
Oh.
Okay. And this is one of the tallest residential buildings in the United States.
How many bedrooms?
I'm trying to find. Okay, here it is. The couple purchased a hold on, I got it right here. The couple purchased a 3-bedroom, 4.5 bath abode last February for $15.3 million. But according to page 6, the home, they're asking The market was asking 17.5 million. They brought it for 15.3 million. They were able to talk them down.
That's not so bad. I'm gonna go get the checkbook. Not so bad. I'm gonna put a down payment on
they're selling the apartment. They paid, that's it. They paid 15.3, but they're selling it for 17.5. Here's a picture of it. Just give me a second. I'm gonna show, but this is a picture of, I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
You can see this is a pictures. These are pictures of the apartment right here.
Right.
3-bedroom, 4.5 bath. Do you see the size of this picture window pane window?
That's the kitchen right there.
Yeah. Some of the top celebrity buildings downtown can guarantee privacy, and hotel amenities include Justin Timberlake. This is one of the larger living rooms.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can take a bath and look straight out at Manhattan.
You look like a cup.
That tub, right?
Yeah. Once
But
again,
this apartment,
by Ehang.
if you have, they have not sold it yet, but if you have a mere $17.5 million, you could have this apartment too. Now, here's one that's going for $9,999 in
$9,999,000.
Now, you see this floor space here? Look at the view
Nice
out this
view,
corner.
though.
Look at this view out this corner. I don't even gotta go outside. I'll fly my drone indoors. The hell with going outside.
Get the checkbook. That's it.
But yeah, the prices.
Lawrence is going to hit the big lottery, and that's what he's going to buy right there.
Listen, check this out. Oh, I'm sorry. That was 9,999,000.
9,999,000.
I'm sorry. I didn't see the other 3 zeros. A standard city block in New York City is 294 feet by 980. The most expensive is Chelsea at $2,345 per square foot. Yeah. So when you hear people complaining, oh, my apartment's only 600 square feet, imagine that times a couple of $1,000. And then you can calculate what they're paying for rent.
I still like some of those older buildings over in Chelsea.
The most expensive penthouse in Manhattan is in the Woolworth building. I didn't know that, at $79 million.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Well, you could always go budget and go over to Sherry Netherland, Lawrence, like everybody else.
Hey, Tom,
career
I'm sure if we took the top 20 drone pilots in New York City, we could probably rent one of them joints for about an hour. Because that's about all you're going to get, an hour's worth of time.
And then you can look at the Apple store.
Yeah, right. That's true. But it's interesting to know that you can get a home like that for 17.5 million only.
Only.
And just because J-Lo and A-Rod lived there, because they lived there, I see that I know they brought that as an investment. I know that because it was a brand new building and not many stars and actors and actresses and were moving into it. A lot of rich corporate people were moving in. So to have J-Lo and A-Rod, former baseball player, hey, it only makes sense. You might want to move into this building. J-Lo and A-Rod had an apartment. You know, it's a selling feature.
Lawrence, Tom, he figured out the exact amount of time we'd be able to rent it for.
5 minutes. That's sad. That's really sad.
By the time you hand them the money and everybody walked in, we'd be turning back around.
Sign the paper, look at it, walk around one time, get the hell out.
No, by the time everybody who invested got in,
nobody could fly.
You got to turn around and walk out.
Yeah,
that's true.
It'd take you longer than that to set up and pull your drones out.
Don't even take your coat off. You're not going to be here that long.
That's right.
Could you imagine? Even the Bowery is no longer affordable. Now, Tom, that I know.
Yeah.
A lot
Not
of those
unless,
buildings
well,
down in
not
the
unless you
Bowery.
stay in the park still.
Yeah, that's true. The park is still free. Tompkins Square Park is also, they did clean up a lot of the dope fiends out of Tompkins Square
Yeah,
Park.
they
What
did.
about
But
Battery Park? I hear about Battery Park.
Battery Park, that's a tourist area.
Oh, okay.
That's a tourist area. That's low. That's the lower tip of Manhattan. You can actually get on a ferry to go to the Statue of Liberty. You can get on a ferry to go to Ellis Island, which, by the way, I saw a video
Actually,
today
Battery
of
Park
someone
City
flying
starts
over
from
Ellis Island, which is not only a historical landmark, but there's a no-fly zone over Ellis Island. So you guys may have seen the video earlier today too. I mean, it's just I have to mention it because people are still flying in New York in places where they know they shouldn't be. I understand the thrill of getting a shot that no one else can, but you're fucking it up for the rest
That's
of us.
always gonna happen.
Huh?
That's never gonna stop.
Oh, it's gonna stop. Hey, feet on the ground. What's up?
No,
What's
it'll
up,
never
Rob?
stop. I'll tell you why it won't stop.
Good morning.
Because,
People keep encouraging it and clicking likes.
well, not so much that, but the fact that anything that you get away with, you have a tendency to push it to the next level and more and more and more.
But isn't that society today?
Yes, but that's always been that way. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
But
You
you
know,
already know droning
but
is
that's how
not the
you
norm.
but that's how you learn.
Droning is not
You
the
know,
norm. So the fact that
and when you don't have any actual, you don't have any actual one to actual police it. You rely on being able to hear about it in the from others or from someone actually blowing the whistle on people who do these things.
this is true, Tom.
Those
Tom
things
goes, what's
continue
legal?
to happen.
Tom goes, what's legal and what's doable are worlds apart. This is true.
Right.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean it's legal.
You know what I mean? And guys can always get away with it until you put something in place to stop it. And there really isn't anything in place to stop it. You know, like I
I
said
know what's going to
before,
stop it. I know exactly what's going to
well,
stop.
well,
They start that
remote
remote
ID is
ID testing.
coming,
Huh?
and it's funny because a lot of people talk about remote ID, and and I've always told you, and I continue to tell you this. I believe that we need remote ID. My problem with it is the constant internet. You know, like I'll say this and I'll say it again, and a lot of guys, oh, well, you know, well, you do if you ain't nothing doing nothing wrong. No, that's not true, because that whole constant internet feed is what everybody was complaining about with Chinese made drones, and mainly the complaint that people were complaining about DJI. If you have that constant internet feed, there's a constant ability for them to constantly view and
Thanks, Rob.
constantly take and then down and take your information. And then that's how that happens. But regardless of all of that, with remote ID now will be able to notify local authorities that that's a legally registered drone flying proper operation, and it's or it's not. You know what I mean? And then they can do something about that afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. Self-promotion seems to be the number one focus. And this is why I believe when remote ID is they do start testing on December 31st, I hope like hell every aeroscope box they have in New York City, they activate it.
Oh, that won't be done with Aeroscope. It won't be done with Aeroscope now because you are now on that constant internet feed that they constantly can now
The
track
network
and
that they can tap
download their
into.
entire mission now. Your whole thing is now download. You're going through that whole server now. And if you don't go through the whole approval system and stay on that internet, your drone in the air will be considered as not a registered drone legally flying.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tom says it makes self-promotion seems to be the number one focus, but it makes people do stupid things. And it's sad but true, Tom. But we've been flying in New York for a while, and we know there are people that we know particularly that just don't care.
Hold
And
on.
therein lies the problem, because you're taught this as a 107 pilot. There are the 6 or 7 things that can tell how reckless a pilot is, and one of them is that pilot that's got to get that shot. There's that pilot that doesn't care what it takes to get that shot, and there's that pilot that will take the shot no matter what. Hey, Sean, what's up, Geeks Fauna? And until they start testing people, until they start testing people, making them take a test before they fly a
That won't
drone.
do anything.
I know,
The
because
testing won't do
I
anything. I'll tell you
you're
why it won't do
100%
anything.
you're 100% right,
Because
Herman. You know
tests
why?
are minimal base skills.
Hey,
That's
Herman.
why you have the road test that someone who
Hey,
cannot
Stevie.
drive can pass a road test.
That's true. I was agreeing with you 100%. And this goes to my ex-wife. Notice keywords, ex-wife, because they can play sane until it's time to go crazy. I can't say it any other way.
Most tests for certification for those type of things are minimal base.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, a
I know.
driver's
Crazy
license.
people,
Can
crazy
you
people know.
drive? Can you drive now better today or when you got your driver's
Well,
license?
check
Or when
this
you took
out,
your
Herman.
road test?
Crazy people know how to be not crazy when the time is right.
Well, yeah, true. True.
So,
That's how some of them get that check.
cuckoo
You
for
know, we had
cocoa.
a few guys around here
Well,
that
testing will eliminate the ignorance factor. Doesn't really change much. I agree with you,
um
Tom.
no because I can guarantee you that there are a lot of people out there doing the wrong thing that are not ignorant. They just show ignorance.
Hmm. There's the crazy person being sane. Because you've seen it on the news. All of you guys have seen it on the news. A crazy person walking down the
It's just
street,
like that
and he
guy that
and
knows
he
how to talk
punches
to himself
the crazy person
long
walking
enough
down
to
the
get the
street,
check.
and he punches a little old lady. But you don't see a crazy guy walking down the street punching somebody 6'3" or 6'5", do you? Because they know when to
No,
be crazy and when not to.
no, because there's a thin line between crazy and sane, and I'm a true believer that most crazy people out there haven't gotten their ass whooped. You understand what I'm saying to you? But
That's
as
yeah.
far as the whole ignorance thing, I think a lot of guys show ignorance and they know better and they just don't care.
It's a sad day when you
Because
have
even the
people and
guys
when
that do
it's a
care
sad day when
have
you have
a
people in
tendency
the
to
community.
shave the edge.
What were you saying, Herman?
Even the guys that do care have a tendency to shave the edges from time to time.
They know, yeah, they know when you are flying legal, and they know when you're flying illegally. It's just a matter of changing a few laws and making it so that when someone gets caught for flying or doing something they're not supposed to in the drone community, they have to be penalized. It's
Well,
because there are too many people out there, Herman, that they're sending a letter to their house and saying, these are the rules. You are supposed to know how to fly now because we've sent you a link and everything on how to fly, how to register your drone, blah, blah, blah. And then that same person goes out and does it again and
well,
again.
the point of what I'm saying to you is that, like I said, all of us, we shave the edges. There are some
Yeah.
who continue to operate in a manner in which they shouldn't. Now, a lot of times guys cry ignorance, but I don't know what the FAA's plan is. I don't know how many times you can be educated and cry ignorance and still be continue to be educated, on the subject. I don't know what it would take for it to end. This guy, and nothing really ever will come to an end. You're always going to have that. Look at what they find this guy here with the incident in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And guys still do these things. So I mean, what it'll take?
What
Jail
would it
time?
take? What you want to know? What it would take?
What would it take?
It
Jail
would
time?
take a drone pilot that's flying illegally in New York City for someone to run up to him and
It's
say,
not just New
"Sir,
York
you know
City.
you're not supposed to be doing that," and they tase his ass.
Will it stop? Will that stop it?
Not literally, but
Will
not
that stop it, or will we get another? Or will we get another YouTube channel that comes on with somebody in there talking about, oh, the police was wrong for tasing him, and he should have been able to fly his drone in that area. There was
yeah.
nothing wrong. He wasn't doing anything to anybody. Or are we gonna get that video?
Well, Sean says they'll regulate us through manufacturing, Geeks Fauna. They are, those of you who already know, they already are. Because I was doing, the job site that I've been filming for the last year and a half, right? Well, a guy comes out and he says, "How are you able to take off here? My boss has been trying to fly here to catch our work site. I was flying a larger work site, but our boss has been trying to take off here and his drone will not take off." And I said, "Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that you are in a no-fly zone, okay, and you need authorization. In other words, if your boss is your boss a hobbyist or a 107 pilot?" And right there, I knew what a communication gap was because he didn't know what a 107 pilot was, and he couldn't answer me as far as his boss being a hobbyist. He said, "Well, my boss got this drone. I fly drones, and I cannot get it to take off." And I'm like, once again, you need authorization to fly in this area. I've been recording this building for the last year and a half from the basement up. They're already up to the 12th floor and they capped off the buildings and put the flag. I've been doing this for a while. I've got permission from the building owner, the general contractor. I can fly here.
I don't
He
think
did
most
not
companies really
understand the
feel
he
offensive
did not
drones.
understand the part about 107 pilot. He didn't. He just walked away. He just walked away, and
At that
that's
point,
where a
it's
lot
up
of
to you
ignorance
to
is.
educate him.
But people don't even know if they're a hobbyist or not. This guy
Well,
walked up. This
the
guy walked
easiest
up.
people, when they're stupid, Lawrence, what I say to them is, I'm a FAA licensed commercial drone pilot. End of story. They don't, because you say
Well,
107,
I
they haven't
had
got a clue what the hell you're
right. I
talking
had my vest on.
about.
I
Yep.
had now see what it is. I've been going there for the last year and a half. So the construction site guys, they know me. So I go in. I have my ID on. I have
Yep.
everything. I have my vest on, and I had a rag over my head. And
Oh,
these guys, some of them are
he
saying,
had a
"What's up?"
rag on his head.
Well, I didn't have a hat on, so I had
Oh,
a towel over my head
look
to
out.
keep direct sunlight from hitting my head while I was flying, while I had my head in the room.
Did you get a picture of that? I want a picture of that.
No, I didn't. I didn't. But
He was
also to have
wearing
it
a
on my
turban.
head, but while I'm
Look out.
flying, I have it on my head. So when sweat starts coming down, I wipe my face and I just put it back up like
I
that.
can
But I'm
mess with other
looking.
people.
What happened? Here we
I
go.
love messing with other people with that. Oh, he was wearing a turban.
No, I
Flying in the downtown area. Look out, taser.
anyway, we got 3 minutes till we gotta go. But but his boss came out. His boss came out and he pointed to me and they saw it. I kept it, of course, kept the drone within line of sight because I only fly within a 3 block radius of this particular spot because I'm actually going to take all the footage and show the building growing
Time
like
lapse.
that.
Yeah.
So I've been getting footage. The boss comes out and says, "He's in the fucking air. How come you can't get my shit in the air?" And I just stayed quiet. I just stayed quiet because I just explained to him how come his drone isn't in the air. He couldn't get his boss drone in the air, and he could not convey that to the boss. Now, I was hoping that this boss would come over because if I give him the name of the general contract of the site that I'm recording now, he'll say, "Yeah, we hired him a year and a half ago. He's been giving us pictures and updates and stuff. It's a whole big thing." Actually, I'm trying to get some extra money from him. That's why I keep taking off in front of his site because he can't do anything. They have the streets closed off, and it's public domain. This is one main spot that I fly from. Everyone knows I fly from here. I go up, I get a view of the buildings. I try to match the
I might
same
come back
view.
out to Rockaway.
What
I
happened?
gotta come back out to Rockaway and unlock the drone and just fly through the neighborhood again.
Oh, he would bug out.
Paul, out by Lawrence, right?
Paul, he don't let that man in your neighborhood. He don't know how to act.
I can go for blocks and blocks and blocks with the Phantom. And go in the other direction for blocks and blocks and blocks. It's neighborhood to neighborhood. It's ridiculous. It's better than out here. We have too many high buildings over here.
Right, but by me, because where this site is and the guy couldn't take off with his drone, I test your intelligence level. When you tell me you fly a drone, the first thing I ask you, what's the name of it? And when you go, I don't know, but when my drone goes up that high, it loses signal. Well, my drone, a guy stopped me to talk to me today about it. And you would think with the Vaston and stuff, they'd leave you alone. But he tells me he brought a drone and it goes up about as high as mine. I was only at 65 feet. I was only at 65 feet. And he said that it loses signal. I said, well, that's a toy grade drone. You need to invest in a real drone. And he goes, well, I went and I spent $100 on another one and it doesn't go much higher than that either. And right there, it let me know I cannot explain to him anything. I said, well, just keep practicing, stay in a local park and don't go higher than that.
Some guys can't, they don't understand
Can we all get a
it,
drop
so they
before we
can't,
go? Sean.
so they can't see themselves. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that job. So they can't see themselves spending that kind of money on a drone right now. But with all that being said, it's about that time, though.
7:01.
And
yes, exactly, everyone. That's how I got a good amount of marina work. I provided a friend with the footage of their boat, and it was like wildfire. Yeah, that's how you do it.
I just wanted to disagree with Recovery One drone on one thing when he said that how you can't fix stupid. It depends on how stupid it is, how stupid they are, and what they're stupid about. But sometimes a couple of good head slaps kind of bust the CPU, and they get it. But I'd like to thank all you guys in the chat for coming and hanging out with us today. And talking about these drone topics and hanging out and just listening to us talk about things that we've done along the way. Paul, Lars, thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight and discussing the topics. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101.
Everyone be safe.
See you guys later.
Safe.